travel with me.
Hey fellow humans, Mina here. So, we're back this week with some more cringe. And no, it's not the first draft cringe, although technically if you want to be super technical, it kind of is. No, we're not talking about my novel's first draft this time. We're talking about the thing that inspired the novel, that got completely scrapped and revamped into what the novel is today. That's right, if you've been listening on my channel for a while, you know that South used to be a comic, and before it used to be a comic called South, it was something called Silent Tears. But did you know there's a little bit of animation involved in this one? I'm pretty sure I mentioned in some previous videos that I used to be an animator. And while I did work as an animator, I did not obviously work on Silent Tears, so this was back during my time in college. You know, art school. The original Silent Tears was really bad, as I mentioned in the Silent Tears video. I had no idea where the plot was going. I had no idea what even each character's personality was like. I was kind of just making everything up as I went along. I had no idea how it was going to end. Well, I knew it was going to end kind of, but like I had no idea what I was doing in order to get there. It was a complete train wreck. And today I'm going to show you a little bit of that train wreck that some of my college classmates also kind of laughed at, but they did give good critiques so that I knew how to improve. Even if that story did get completely scrapped into, you know, the good novel that you can buy now. Links in the description down below. So for fun, I'm going to show you what's called an animatic. An animatic is storyboards in motion. You know, the little pictures that tell you how movies and even comics are gonna go. As a side note, I originally did the first animatic for Silent Tears in my first year of college, and I had an entire month to plan it out, sorry, not that. Hey, anyway, like I was saying, I had a month to basically thumbnail, do the storyboards, record, and all the stuff that goes into making an animatic, and it was a lot of work, even for 1 month, especially for one person to do, but I did it, and it turned out great. My classmates laughed at me, but in a good way. They made me realize that that story was not working out, because in the original Silent Tears, I guess spoilers for things that will never ever come to light because I've never finished that story and South is a completely different direction. But in the original Silent Tears, Minami goes home where her family is having a family reunion, only to find that the house is on fire because someone lit a cigarette outside and set the house ablaze and everyone died but her. And she got her famous scar because a beam fell down and on her back, and somehow that made a scar on her face. I don't know. I can see why my classmates laughed at me, especially with the part where her family was like, no, you gotta get out of here. You know, everyone talking in a calm voice, even though they're literally on fire and dying. But in this version, a year later, I redid it where, well, you're gonna see, because I'm gonna show you the animatic for Silent Tears, how the story was now originally going to start. Just as a side note, I did both of these in Japanese, but my Japanese pronunciation at the time was absolute shit. So please excuse my poor Japanese pronunciation, and I also had some friends along to help with some of the voices, and they ain't Japanese either, so we all had bad accents. So let's get into some cringe.
"確かにこんな術だほ。わあ、時が過ぎてしまったね。風が僕はす。行かなくちゃ。じゃあね、キユキさん、電話してくるよ。プロジェクトのトピックを決まってなかったから。本当に一緒に行ったね。そうだね。ただいま、遅くなったからごめんよ。まは道を通ったので、天気きれいだったよな。お母さん お父さん、誰からいるの？何が起こったのか。お母さん、お父さん、みんなに逃げてください。うわ
你看有没有？
助けてみた。
Kyuki, Toshio to Kyuki, Hinamaya. No, Nakarenai, no Tamini. Atsume Tekon Tari Suru to one Koizumashita.
この場所に呼ぶと皇族社会だと。
そうだよ。そうしてその彼女しか死んだよ。
今から何も勝負者もいなかな。かわいそうな彼女。
おや、ごめんなさい。
愛してる。
Wow, hope you enjoyed that. Side note, since I only did this animatic in 2 weeks, I had to reuse some of the footage from the year before because there was a lot of work to cram in 2 weeks. So the ending was the same art from the year before, and I did improve during that year. But I also want to mention that I've improved a lot in my art since my college days. So much. My art style looks nothing like what it is in that. But that's a story for another day. So as you can see, in this version, Minami comes home to find her family brutally getting murdered. It's a family reunion, but it ain't a happy one. And she gets her scar from an axe, if that wasn't clear. Sorry if the camera angle changed again, because I got an emergency alert, one of Korea's very useful emergency alert that we get 50,000 times a day. You know, wash your hands. We don't need an emergency alert for that. You're gonna play bull. Anyway, it stopped the video and I had to start recording again. That sucked. But anyway, as I was saying before that wonderful emergency alert, you know, jumping in. Spoilers for things that'll never happen. The guy who was shanking everyone in the video was actually Minami's uncle, her dad's brother. Why was he murdering his entire family during a reunion? Beats me. I didn't even know back then. I don't really know his motives or why. I just knew that Minami was on a life quest to find the killer of her family. And I didn't even know how she was gonna get there. I just know she would only find out in the end, and yeah, it was all over the place. So yeah, I thought I'd just share that fun blast from the past and more cringe, because y'all seem to like my cringe videos, and you know what? I have fun doing them. When book 2 finally comes out, I can't wait to share you some of that cringe. Right now I think it's dope, but I also thought the first draft itself was dope, and we know how that turned out. It wasn't. So when, you know, book 2 comes out, I'm sure there'll be plenty cringe to share along with the rest of y'all. How about you guys, my fellow humans? Would you have actually liked to seen Silent Tears come to fruition if I actually, you know, plotted it out? Maybe I'll make a story about it someday, you know, if I actually know where it's going. Or do you think that South, even if you might not have read it yet, still sounds like a much better story? I think it does. So that's all I got to say for now. If you want to keep hearing more about us, be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials. Links below. Stay safe and take care. Bye!